black holes bends their light.
Yeah, there we go.
Where stars go to die.
So I thought we'd start off slow today.
Seeding the space will lie in an endless photon wall.
This is my new friend. My partner, she brought this home to me. She knows that I've always wanted one.
I've been trying to find you.
I just absolutely love these. If you're from North Carolina, South Carolina, you'll recognize these.
Where stars go to die. Seeding the space will lie in an endless photon walls.
And there we go. So, yeah. So I thought we were gonna, I've heard a lot of good things about Transcribe. And I'm thinking we're gonna do some tests and see if we can break the formula for this one, or if we can get bad results even. I've tried once to isolate the vocals from this track, and I was quite surprised over how well it worked, but we're gonna try out some more. And so, hello Sasha, good to see you. I know you were sad last Wednesday when I canceled it, but I had to. Now everybody, I just want you to know that if I seem somehow down, or if I seem somehow depressed or out of breath, it's because I'm coming down with something and I don't know what it is. I might have to order one of those tests to see if it is C19 or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I have been feeling it a lot under the weather, and I'm not showing any other symptoms like the normal flu symptoms or anything like that. So got me a little bit worried, but yeah, so I might not be like 100%, but we're still gonna do this thing today. So I hope everyone else is well and good out there, and I'm really sorry for canceling last week's stream, but I did manage to use those 2 hours I would have used for something else, for the stream for something else, and I was able to get ahead of my work, which is progressing nicely. We have a deadline we have to meet in about 3 weeks, and so there's so much to do. So I really hope I'm not gonna get really sick with something. I hope it's just maybe something I ate or something else. But yeah, I'm really feeling under the weather. Right, so let's try this. Let's try just isolating the vocals. Now I've already done this once, so it's probably gonna go quickly. But this is my song Endless Photon Waltz for anyone who hasn't heard it. Alright, so I just want to say also, of course, hello and welcome to Jakob Live. This is the Wednesday stream that we always do, except from last week's stream, and it's so good to see all of you again. And I did miss you, really. I felt like something was missing last week, and when I sat down, and I almost told you exactly what I was doing, but I'm not going to do that. But I did miss you, and it's good to be back. So the first thing we're going to do is use Transcribe here. Now Transcribe is a pitching thing. It does, they kind of sell it with the point of it being something you can use to, to train music. But what people will actually use it for is to isolate vocals or instruments in a track, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to isolate some instruments, and we're gonna try to break this. We're gonna go into Cubase's, mix some stuff together, and then we're gonna send it in here and see if it will still isolate stuff. And so yeah, and so hello Dimitri, hello Samuel, Ed. I've spoken with some of you before I started stream. Who else? Meerkat Music. We got Stephen Golfstein. We got Jamie Malander. Is it Pal or Paul? And then we have Russ. So Nick Zakrevsky, all the good old gang, Sasha, you're all here. Nice to see you. And everyone who's watching who don't want to speak, hello to you too. I don't know your names, but I'm very happy that you're here. Okay, so what I'm just gonna do is I've just loaded this up, and this ties directly into your files system, files app, as long as you're running iOS 12, I think, which I am. Sorry, I'm running 13, and so what you do as soon as you've loaded whatever song, track, music, whatever you want to load, is we open up a little icon here and we get this setting. And what I'm gonna do is try to isolate the vocals. Now, since I've done this once, it's probably gonna be pretty quick. But the first time I did this with my song, which is like 4 minutes long, it took about 30 seconds or 35 seconds. And it did actually stop doing it completely. I was trying to play the song and do it at the same time, and it didn't like that. It froze up. So I restarted, stopped the song, and then did it. So I'm gonna press vocals here, vocals only, which means it's gonna isolate the vocals. And as you can see, it's already done it once. So you've already heard the song a little bit. So what does this sound like? Now, I've heard that this is not perfect because all you need are sounds that end up in the same spectrum as the vocals, and they will shine through. So we're gonna hear some examples of that. It's Transcribe. It's Transcribe, Sasha. Transcribe
Where black
Plus.
holes bends their light, where stars go to die,
Here,
seeing the space will lie
there's a weird effect.
in an endless photon waltz.
And some of you are going to say, well, that weird effect, Jacob, is coming because of this being a vocoder voice. Yes, I know. That's why I chose this song. I wanted something with a vocal that wasn't, like the most normal thing. But we're going to try to mix in some vocals. I'm going to grab some really great Indian vocals from a sample pack and mix that up with something. It doesn't have to be in tune or anything. We're just going to see how it isolates stuff. But already with the vocoder track, we can hear, since it's reading spectrum and probably using some gates in a similar manner, kind of like those, what do you call it, brusfri, for instance, from Klevgren Produkter, or Klevger they used to be called. That uses like a series of gates to remove like background noise and hiss and stuff. One of the best apps on the market, absolutely bar and done. It's just a great app, brusfri. If you're a vlogger and you need something to wash away that fan sound or anything, brusfri is the way to go. You can process stuff in it with ease, and it really just remove stuff because it's not just a filter, it's filter and gates. This sounds like a filter and gates with a spectrum reader, and that's why the vocoder sound and some of the synth sounds shine through. So we're gonna go up here further ahead because you can't just scroll through this. There are some weird stuff happening here at some point, I think.
I've been trying to find you.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on there. But let's do this. We're gonna undo this. We're gonna bring back everything. Wait, we're gonna, where is it? Restore original track. Okay, so now we have the original track again. Come on.
Where black holes bends their light, where stars go to die, seeding the space will lie in an endless photon waltz.
Alright, so this time we're gonna try to isolate the drums and see what that sounds like. Now I will, full disclosure by the way, I didn't pay for the full version of this app because this time I decided to just use the code that the developer sent me. So basically the developer contacted me and said, hey, have you heard about my app Transcribe? And Doug Woods made a video about it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have time, I'm sorry. And so I thought, when would I have time to do this? I'm probably not going to have time for the next 2 months because of everything going on. And so, hey, let's do it during the stream instead. So I just used the code. But after testing this thing and hearing exactly what it does, I really regret it. I just wish I would have paid for it, because this is something I would pay for, actually. It seems to be doing a pretty good job. Let's just isolate the drums. So let's see how long that takes. Okay, so now we can see how long that takes, so keep an eye on that. I have converted vocals recorded with a phone to semi-professional voiceovers with Brusfri and further processing. Real good software. Yeah, Brusfri is just one of the best. And here's the thing: many people won't even watch videos about about noise removers and stuff like that. It's not one of the most popular plugins. But when it comes to any vlogger out there, I need to make a video called like 3 essential apps for video vloggers, because I hear too many video vloggers. They've got a great camera. They've got a great camera, and they're using the internal microphones, stereo microphones on the cameras, and it sounds absolutely awful because of the background sound and everything. I say, speaking through this really shitty mic, but well, you know what my audio sounds like on my main channel. I do a lot of processing on that, and many vloggers won't, and it's like people don't complain about it either. Even if they have millions of subs and people watch them, they don't complain about that. It's just that I would love to listen to what they have to say. It's just I can't concentrate because of the awful audio, because of the echoing in the room and everything. And Brusfri is just amazing when it comes to removing stuff like that. Steinberg started all this splitting track algorithm stuff with stems. Yeah, I can't remember exactly when it started, but it was quite some time ago. So anyone who does not, who missed the beginning of this app is called Transcribe Plus, and there is a free version that you can download, and then you have to purchase the full thing in-app purchase, and the in-app purchase is about $16 or something like that. It's a fair amount of money. It's a steal for something like this. And someone did, was it you, Russ? Was it Russ? I don't remember. I think it was Russ or Ed who told me that there is another app that does this, an older app. It's called Let's Unmix. I know it's hard to see, but it's called Let's Unmix, and it also has an in-app purchase. But that one, the in-app purchase for that one is $6. Oh, it's done. I don't know how long that was in minutes, but that took time. So let's just listen to this and see how well it isolated the drums. Okay, that's an interesting effect. It kind of sounds as if it's inside a box. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a bad MP3. MP3. It sounds like a bad MP3. That's the Swedish just shining through there. It's great. It's absolutely great. I'm great at English. English is my second language. Ooh, listen to that. We got my old buddy Kalle Kempe. He's an old childhood friend of mine, one of my best friends. He's also one of the smartest dudes I know, and the guy does stuff that just blows your mind. Space age technology stuff. And I can't talk about it because then he'll have to send someone after me probably. Alright, so what we're doing, Kalle, and everyone else who's tuning in, we're trying to isolate vocals or drums or instruments using an app called Transcribe Plus. You can download it for free right now and test it out, and then you have to purchase the full upgrade for $16 or $15. And we tried isolating vocals, and I'm using a track which is called my Endless Photon Waltz that I released some time ago. And it's got some vocoder vocals in it, which is kind of hard. It should be hard for an app like this to kind of isolate because of it being a vocoder, not just a regular human voice, which it's probably tuned to when it comes to frequencies. And so we're just checking how well it does it, and we're gonna do some more tests. But yeah, just stick with me. It seems to be isolating the drums pretty well, but we are getting some of that MP3 sounding stuff in there. It sounds like a bad bit rate, you know? Anyone ever sat on LimeWire? Huh? Anyone? We got Mobile Music Pro in the chat. Hello, Mobile Music Pro. Hello, Vortex. Hello, Vortex. Now, Vortex told me he was going to start streaming recently. And I don't know, did you stream today, Vortex? Because if you are, he told me that he would be streaming an hour before me. So anyone who want to catch Vortex during the Mobile Music Pro streams, you just tune in on his channel an hour before mine, basically. Alright, so it does isolate the drums, but this being a really full track and everything, it doesn't sound that well, but did it produce some useful results that I would use to sample? Because that's definitely what this app would be best for people doing sampling, people who wants to sample stuff and want to isolate certain stuff, you know, in a track to create some interesting samples. So yeah, it did create something interesting, but when it came to the drums, it really did sound like an MP3 with a really low bit rate. You know, when you start hearing the anti-aliasing and stuff happening, you know, the dithering, and it's just so much weird stuff being introduced there. You can hear the pixels, you can hear the bits. Oh, you just got done streaming. Well, everybody, you know that Mobile Music Pro streams on Wednesdays, same day as mine, just an hour before my stream. Mobile Music Pro. Right, so let's try to isolate something else. We're gonna go for restoring the original track. Vortex, have you tried Transcribe? Any other YouTuber, by the way, because we got Jamie Mallender, who is also a YouTuber. So let's try doing... now this is going to be harder for it, I think. We're not going to do the bass. We're going to do instrumentals only. Okay, so we can only do vocals, drums, bass, and instrumentals. So we're going to try instrumentals only now. See how it does with that. And it's going to take some time, so luckily I get to talk aloud. Don't mention it, Vortex. We stick together, all of us, you know, and it's the same with the viewer base. Many of our viewers, sorry for talking about you viewers in the third person, but many of you watch many of us. We sometimes have the same viewers, and sometimes they differ quite a lot. But you know, it's a tight-knit community, and we need to try to lift each other, and that's what I like doing on my channel. If you've ever followed any of the work I do on the main channel, then which is Jakob haQ without the live at the end, so it's just youtube.com/Jakob haQ with a Q. And yeah, I mean, if you look at my tutorials and my videos about any app, I try to lift the people making the apps as much as I can, and it's the same with other YouTubers, because I've started out small. I've been fighting hard for getting where I am, and you know what? Many other YouTubers are probably very happy that many of you viewers are back from holidays and vacations, because it's been the longest drop of views and interaction I've ever seen during my whole time on YouTube, and it's probably because all of this C19 stuff. It's been really bad, and now you're all coming back, so I'm so happy you're back. Thank you so much, because it felt like my channel was dying there for a short while. Let's check this out. I've isolated the instrumentals. I don't know what that means, but I don't think it's gonna bring the drums into this. Can y'all hear that? Oh, that is so weird. Wow, wow, I can see myself throwing this into Borderlands Granular. Are you kidding me? This is so weird and wonderful. It kind of reminds me, if anyone's ever seen the work of David Firth, his music, Locust Toy Box, is great. It's such weird things. Yeah, it is pretty cool sounding. As you can see, we're getting a lot of the vocoder in there because the vocoder is not a human voice. It's basically a synthesis reproduction of the human voice, and that's why it's coming in there. But wow, that's interesting. It just gave me a whole new idea for some music, and that's what I like about apps when they're able to do that. Because of the weird thing going on in this here right now, I'm getting new musical ideas. So already at this point, just from this little bit, I do recommend it, and especially if you throw in tracks with vocal sounds that aren't just regular vocals, but vocals that have been processed with something, choruses, vocoders, maybe some autotune, even though I don't like autotune at all, stuff like that. So definitely try it out. Now, someone did say that, of course, you can split up all the tracks and save time like that. Yeah, I know. But I'm doing it on purpose like this because I want to see how long it takes for it to actually process the different instruments one by one from the same track, just to see. So it's a test, but we can check that function later where we can split it up. So you can also save time. I just want to see how it does it like one by one. Oh my God! It sounds like stuff are being played in reverse almost. This is hitting a very special place in my heart right now. I just love it. It's close to some weird ambient music I've heard on the offshoots of the dark side of the internet, or the old MySpace. I don't know if you remember, if any of you ever had MySpace pages. Maybe you did. Um, and put your music up on there. I've heard so much good underground music there. Hello, Jan. I'm sorry, I don't know if you're Swedish, Jan, but we say Jan in Swedish if you are Swedish. Otherwise, it might be Jan or Jan. So okay, so it does vocals interestingly enough, even though it's a vocoder track. It does drums in an interesting way, and then it sounds like a bad MP3, but still does it interesting. Like Halikempe says, it does something. It adds something unique to the sound, and it does instrumentals quite well. The only thing we haven't tried right now it is the bass material. So can I jump back to the first? Are there any fast like forward or anything like that? There probably is, but yeah. So I'm just gonna restore the track. And if you have asked me any questions and I've missed it, keep asking it. Keep badgering me about it so I can see it, because I am checking the chat the whole time, so I won't miss anything from you. I'm doing the live streams because I want to interact with you. Now let's do the bass and see what that sounds like. Bass only. I have no idea how long this is going to take or what it's going to sound like, but it's so interesting. It's so interesting. MySpace is actually still hopping. Yeah, I know it's still there. I remember the good old age. I don't know how MySpace is now. I don't even know if my old account is still there or my old accounts, because I've had several. Some of them were trolling accounts. That's a long story. And some of them were music accounts. And I remember when you could like make your own. Oh, that was really quick. We're gonna have a listen to that. I'm just gonna finish my sentence here about MySpace. Um, Back in the day, do y'all remember? Y'all, I've turned southern. Do y'all remember when we could like basically make our own home pages on YouTube, make our own pages look a certain way. It was the same with MySpace. There were several of these social networking pages where you could make your own stuff, and today they all have that same thing. The only thing I missed was having a dark version of YouTube, because that's the way I always want to browse it myself. So I was so happy when they brought a dark version back to the YouTube app so that I could watch it like that instead. So this is supposed to be bass. Let's go ahead. Ooh, okay. I'm just I'm just gonna lower the volume here. Let's see here. All right, y'all tell me if this is if this is if this is unbearable. Oh, it's just doing some weird stuff with it. How are you? Are your ears okay from this? This is so interesting. I just feel like breaking this song apart in four tracks, these four elements, and then doing something with it in something like Borderlands Granular or Spacecraft. Yeah, this is the gating effect. I'm gating with the bass, with the drums, and that's why we're getting this effect. And it's reading this. It's interesting because of the isolation. It can't do it perfectly, so it's gonna get some more bits and pieces in there. And it's kind of with sampling. Like a lot of beat makers want to sample from vinyl. Why? Because there's a lot of other stuff hanging onto the vinyl. It might be scratches, might be dust in there, might be some other instruments leaking from other mics because of old audio when the bands were used to play all together in the same room. Stuff like that. So you'd get someone coughing in the background. There's a lot that happens when you're sampling from a vinyl or from old music, old tapes or something. A lot of stuff that you couldn't remove because you were limited technically. And that's why a lot of hip hop or rap music have a lot of good beats with a very like moving, real, humanized feel to it, because everything isn't just perfect like you get with a DAW or like a beat making tool, with a sequencer. Everything is perfect. You can of course humanize stuff, but when you go and buy a loop pack and you go and buy your samples, you're gonna get like studio produced stuff, unless you're buying like 70s funk pack or something like that. So I mean, I would always urge people to go and sample from stuff and sources and from nature and from your kitchen, because you're gonna get much more interesting things happening in your samples. If you're breaking apart songs and isolating songs, doing it with a tool like this, you're gonna introduce some weird stuff into it. So it's like sampling is done when you're doing beats and stuff. We got some names in here. I don't know if I've seen AJ Booster before, but welcome AJ Booster. We got Clear Gray Sky in here. And yeah, thank you for joining up, everyone. So it seems to do this quite well. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go into Cubases, and we're gonna try to do some weird stuff. So bear with me, because I've got some Indian vocal samples, and we're gonna mix that up with some weird stuff, and then try to mess it up and see how well it can isolate that. All right? Sounds like a good idea? I think it sounds like a great idea. It sounds like an excellent idea. So let's go into. I'm not gonna show that. You might see something that you're not supposed to see. Close down Transcribe. I'm gonna open up Cubases, and we're gonna just mix some samples up. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast. Let's see here. Let's just open a completely new project, and let's do some weird stuff. Let's just call it Transcribe. Okay, let's see. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? There's a whole row of poops there. A little brighter. I think you can see that, right? Okay. So Add an audio track. Now let's go into audio share. I use audio share for all of my audio sharing storaging options. Basically, we're gonna go into loop masters, and this is what I talk about. Sometimes I buy loop packs of loop masters, and I only have a fraction of everything I own that I've ever purchased from loop masters on my iPad because I simply don't have the space. I have stuff on a drive, on an external drive on the side here that I have to bring up sometimes just to get my stuff. And back in the days before iOS 13, well, you couldn't just hook your hard drive up. You had to do it on a desktop computer and then move it over, or you had to buy a Wi-Fi drive, which I did, and turns out to be slower than anything, slower than glue, so it wasn't fun to use. But nowadays, with iOS 13, as long as you've got your hard drive formatted at the right type of file format, then you can just plug it up right to your iPad or iPhone and just browse all your stuff, which is great. So we're gonna go into let's see here. Let's go for the Indian stuff, Earth Moments and Indian. I think it's Voice of India, and I know from experience that this is gonna be loud as duck. And so let's see here. I try not to overuse the F word. I hope you never get to meet me in real life because I'm a prominent user of the F word. It's my most favorite word. Unfortunately, I'm a dirty potty mouthed baby. By the way, anyone seen my South Carolina plant here? It's I love this plant. I've never had one. My partner, she brought it home to me, and I was so happy. And today I actually went out to the balcony, and I caught a small fly with my fist. You know, kind of like the Kung Fu Legend thing. You do it with sticks. Only I do it with my whole fist. Kind of like I eat rice too. I eat rice with my fist too because sticks are just too slow. And then I just put the fly on a stick and it started crawling around on that, and I put the stick into the mouth in this thing. That's why it's closed. And so as soon as it crapped on over, I just removed the stick, and it could sense the little legs just running around there. And so right now it's quite horrible actually. It's being digested alive, which is kind of horrible, but it's nature. So I that's just the way it is. It's such an interesting plan. I forget myself. I'm gonna just choose something here. So let's just go in here and choose 90. Okay, are we gonna be okay here, or is this gonna be too loud? Now what I'm doing is I'm gonna try to create a vocal, a bit of music that it's not gonna sound like music, but I'm gonna try to create something that is horrible and see how well Transcribe does. And we have almost no audio.
আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না
There we go.
থাকব মগনা না না যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না
I love this. I love like being a musician, and many of you might probably understand what I'm talking about. But like language is music, and every language has its own syntax, its own intonations, its own sounds, vowels, bends, pitch bends, own tones. I'm very, very much in love with Bengal, like kind of languages, and Hindu and stuff like that. And my half of my relatives are mixed, and so they come from Africa and Pakistan, so there's a lot of languages in there. I got to hear Lugandi when I was younger, which is a great language. It's very interesting. For any Westerner, it sounds extremely African, if you can say that. But I also like Japanese and the monotone kind of tone they have, just listening to that. So I'm going to use this at least and send it into Cubasis. So that's the Ball F90 BPMs one. And I'm probably missing a lot of comments right now. I'll be with you in just a second. Just give me a moment here. Give me a moment. Moment. Ball F 90 BPMs. Okay, so let's add some stuff to this. Let's add some drums. Let's put this into 90 BPMs. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's not 90. Let's do this.
থাকব মগনা না না যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখি
There we got that one, and we need a little like a drum loop or something like that. So let's go into some prominent drums, and I'm gonna use one of my most used drums because, ooh, I love this drum pack. This is all these sound so great. It's called Vintage Breaks. Vintage Breaks. Bloody. Am I supposed to say bloody, Sasha? Bloody, bloody or bloody? Who makes this app? Oh, AJ Booster. I'm so sorry, AJ Booster. Let's see here. I know you asked a long time ago. You might have already left because I haven't answered yet. But transcribe, and someone might have already answered you. But I'm doing this for anyone who's missing the chat because they don't want to have it open because they just simply. Come on, transcribe. Transcribe. I'm writing it wrong. Transcribe plus slow down music. It's made by Dynamic. It's called Dynamic App Design LLC. Yeah, Dynamic App Design LLC makes this app Transcribe. They've also made an app called Infant, which I'm very curious about that. I have no idea. What is this? Infant Plus is an app designed to provide soothing visuals that your infant can actually see. I love it when developers, they come up with these awesome music apps and then they have this one weird app that is just weird. Like Jim Pavlov. Oh, Jim Pavlov who made Pure Acid and GR16. He's got this app called Where's My Eggs? And I've had it explained to me before by some, I don't know if it was a Polish guy or a Russian guy, explained to me exactly what it was. It's an old cartoon, which I think is cool, but I just love it. They have, like, you have GR16, you Pure Acid, you've got Poison 202, Where's My Eggs? I just absolutely love it. And then we have this guy who makes, a lot of interesting stuff, but it seems like he's been making relaxing sounds, apps like this before. Then it has like bass tuner and now transcribe. So let's go in here and let's look for some awesome drums. I'm gonna go into vintage loops. Come on, where original breaks? Is this it? Okay, so we've got some in 85 BPM. We can stretch them. So let me see. I know that this is going to be loud. Oh, this is in AI. What? What's going on here? I mean, these drums are great. So let's just, you know what? I'm gonna convert this to a regular wave file. Come on. Yeah. I work mostly with WAV files, and sometimes when you mix sounds in different formats and different sample rates, you're gonna get weird results, and sometimes the loops don't really, join up, or they don't really fit that well together, actually. And any DAW is sensitive to that, or that's just the way it is with these. Even if a loop is like 90 BPMs, it was 90 BPMs. If you're running a DAW at a different rate, and then you import this in a different rate, and it's gonna try to it's gonna try to not reformat, but it's gonna try to convert it. And when you've done that and you go in and actually look at it, there's like 4 ppms missing at the end, and that little missing bit there could be enough to make the whole thing sound out of rhythm, in a bad way, not in that good floaty humanized way. So that's why I always do everything in wave instantly, instead of just trying to mix everything together. So where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where? What was the name of it again? Am I going all crazy here? That's not it. I think my brain broke. Didn't I just send? Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, so here's the thing though. It still wanted to come. Oh, it was at right. I'm running Cubases at 44.1 kilohertz, and the sample I converted it to 48. I already messed up, everyone. Never mind. Either way, this one is still. We're still gonna have to mess it up because it's 85 BPMs. So I'm gonna time stretch this down, which it works really great inside Cubases to do that. You just hit the one you want to stretch, hit stretch, and then pull it, and you're there. There, you're there. You're there. Let's see what this sounds like.
আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে
Let's see how well Transcribe can actually get this one. So we're gonna export this to a loop, and then we're gonna import it into Transcribe and see how well it can isolate the voice. Now I've added a Cubasis effect to this already, so I've put a rotary speaker here, and I love this effect because it's an easy way of adding some dirt and some toot to your vocals. And usually when I use this, I will have the clean vocals on top. If I work for someone else, I will have the clean vocals on top, filter off the low end, and I will filter the high end and run the one with the filter of high end into this, and then mix the signal up from this one, because it adds attitude without making the actual words like incomprehensible, because you need to hear what people are saying, especially if they're doing rap music. One of the best distorted rap music, rap sounds I've ever heard. It's still on the first Wu-Tang album, and it's because they recorded everything in the living room of someone. I don't know who they were at home at, but they were in the living room. They're all sitting in this couch, and they have this shitty microphone on right there, and it's distorting in a very nice way. So nice that so many people afterwards try to emulate that and adding distortions to it. But the trick is to use a shitty mic, basically. Still asking myself why Cubasis has this bloody file system. Yeah, this needs bass. We're gonna work more on this, believe me. Yeah, Cubase's file system leaves a lot to be desired, okay? I'm just gonna say that. I would seriously like to see some folders and stuff. Like, seriously. Folders, please. Folders, please. Because when you have a lot of samples in there, that's why you see, if you look here, you'll see I don't have that much, right? As soon as I'm done with the project, if I'm not going to keep on working on it, I do this zip thing, and I send it over to my drive, and to another drive that I have, and then on a flash drive. Because I've lost data before in the past, I'm not doing it again. And then I delete everything, so I'm not cluttering up this with 1,000 or 3,000 samples. I just can't take it. It's just so messy. Yeah. Right, so let's export this thing. Wait, let's just look over the audio a little bit, because it might be distorting here. I'm just gonna load up an audio unit, and where is it? My most favorite app, my most favorite FabFilter Pro Q3. Just gonna check over.
রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব.
Right, I need some limitation on this thing. Right now it's coming out with full effect, and I'm not liking that too much.
যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না.
Cubases has this problem with the compressor. I've tried to tell Lars this, but he never really got what I meant. What happens the first time you load the compressor every time is that the compressor has a 10 decibel raise on the volume output. And so I have to keep riding the volume knob every time I add a new compressor. They should really just make this one have the normal status for this thing in a default state being 0. No gain at all. So if I would play this, it would just push out another 10 decibels, which will kill your ears. And it's already glowing red here for me, so yeah. Just pull down the volume for this thing a little bit. Just. And you know what? We're gonna try to bake this together in a very nice way. And the way we're gonna do that, we're gonna add another plugin from Klevgren Produktion, which is great. It's called what is it called? It's that. Where is it? Come on. Reamp. There we go.
যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না রাখবো মাগো না 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 যেতে দেব না.
There, we got a pretty nice baked in little thing there, and so we're just gonna create a mixdown from this and send that into Transcribe and see what happens. Now what I've done is, I've done so much and I'm so bad at this, I should really explain all of it, but basically I put some compression on both of these, and I've started kind of moving away from compression and started using saturation. And this reamp tool from Klevgren Produktion, or Klevgren Produkter as they're called on iOS now because they've changed their names, this one is amazingly good if you're doing anything like hip-hop, or if you're working with any type of music that needs edge to it. If you're doing working with a lot of dirty guitar sounds, stuff like that, this is amazing. It adds a very nice saturation and drive to stuff, and really heats stuff up in a nice way. I've checked it in an oscilloscope, I've checked it in a spectrum analyzer. Reamp is amazing, it sounds great. And it also has some algorithms in here, like the cassette deck, the tape reel, the preamp, tube preamps and stuff. And you can even add some of the harmonics that you can hear in some of these, when you use old tape machines and stuff. It also does oversampling, and it's just a great tool, and I need to feature this one on my main channel because wow, I've just fallen in love with it. I use this many times instead of compression just because it saturates stuff in a very nice way, and compression don't. It can, if you're audio damaged, then they do add some kind of saturation in there. If you check Rough Rider and you do a readout, if you send just a regular sine wave into it and just check the readout, you'll see that there is some saturation going on there. That's why that compressor sounds so good, and they're giving it away for free. For free, anyone can get it. Rough Rider 3, a free compressor plugin that is just amazing, and unfortunately it crashes in Cubasis, but it's a great plugin. What else did I do? Yeah, that's pretty much what I've done. I removed some of the low bass from the drums. Yeah, thank you for joining up, Dimitri. I'll see you next time. All right. So someone is already sold, maybe on the reamp one, preamp. Okay, I'm just gonna send this to Transcribe. We're gonna send this as Transcribe. We'll call it Indian, even though it's not Indian. I think I think they're singing in Bengali. It's not Hindi, but yeah, either way. Let's see here. Transcribe India, and here's the thing. Transcribe works with the Files app, so I'm gonna send it to. I'm just gonna send it to AudioShare first, and because I like having all my files in AudioShare. Okay, I know where everything is in here. Now this one, we could have maximized it even more, but I'm gonna do the dirty thing now. I'm gonna go in here and just normalize. This is dirty. Don't do this. If you want to maximize it, do it where you can monitor what's happening. This algorithm is not that bad, actually, from Jonathan Liljedahl, who makes AudioShare. It's pretty good, but normally I do it with an app or with some kind of either like a limiter or something else. Just try to get it to sound a little bit louder. So we're gonna send this to Files, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to. Let's see here. Now I need to send this to, let's see here. Where do I send this? You know what? I'll send it into LumaFusion. It doesn't matter. Maybe I'll use it for a video either way, so I'm gonna send it into LumaFusion. The reason why I can't choose another folder right now is because you might be seeing a folder that belongs to something else that is related to the project I've been working on for a year. So I can't. So let's go to, let's just shut these down because they're eating up my resources, because my old iPad can't take the beating. And we're gonna open up Transcribe, and it's gonna, come on, is it gonna open? No, yeah, I have to press here. Go to Browse. Right, and now I have to find the right thing. Let me just check, so I'm not showing you anything you're not supposed to see. And we're gonna go to, yeah, okay, so now I can show you. You might not be seeing it that way. And we're gonna go into project, where is it? Library Media, is that it? Library Media? No, it's not. Where does it usually end up? User Media, other app, and Transcribe India normalized. There it is. Okay, now we know that it does that. All right, so one thing, there is some more things you can do with Transcribe. You can change the speed of it, and it basically time stretches it, and you can pitch it, and you can do them independently. I'm just gonna show that real quick. Let's loop that. And I'll show you the speed. Yeah, there we go. So it can do that, which is a thing it can do. Now, what we're gonna do is try to isolate some stuff. We're gonna begin by trying to isolate the vocals and see what that sounds like. So we're gonna go here, and I know I can do it in all the stems, but I'm gonna do vocals only now. Let's see how long this takes. I don't think it's gonna take too long because it's a short clip. Let's see here. Pro Q3 is an absolute must. Yep. Whenever someone asks me about the best equalizer apps, I will always say FabFilter Pro Q3, because once you've got that, you've got everything you need um, in an EQ. It's just that it's heavy, and if you got an old iPad, you might be wanting to get for something else, something less. And in those cases, if you just learn to use the equalizers you have in your DAWs, then you're pretty much good to go. The only one I'd say needs an upgrade is GarageBand. It definitely needs an upgrade for its filters, Jesus. And I know it does, because I saw I think it was the GarageBand guide. It was talking about that in a video, that that's something that he wished for. What's his name? Brian? Is it Brian? God, I can't remember his name now. Either way, he said that that's something he wanted, because he is a GarageBand only user basically, and not being able to have like a proper filter with several filter modes is just whoa. So it's done. Let's see. It's supposed to be isolating the vocals. We'll see what that sounds like now.
আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না
That actually does not sound too bad. It sounds a bit weird, but it's actually doing a great job. One more time. Now you've already seen what I've done. I've added some distortion or some saturation to this with reamp. I've added and drive basically. I've added a tape reel algorithm to it, and then I've also added some. What was it we added with Cubase? We added some reverb. We did, and also I can't remember what else it was. Oh yeah, the tremolo thing, or that effect. I'll show you it again later. Let's listen to this again. I put it on loop so we can listen to it a few times.
আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না
It didn't loop. Why doesn't it loop? Come on. It's supposed to loop.
আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't seem to loop. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It sounds pretty good. Now we're going to restore this, and I know I can do it in several stems, but I am going to do it one by one. So we're going to do the drums now and see what that sounds like. I think that this is going to sound not as bad as the vocoder track, because there's less in there now. But we're going to add bass, and we're going to add some instruments to this. Okay, it sounds almost as bad. Yep, we're back to LimeWire, everyone. Now we're talking about a time when you're downloading an MP3 takes you a week because there aren't enough computers on in the rest of the world, which maybe I shouldn't talk about. I don't know if anyone from US could end up in trouble. Anyone mentioning LimeWire? I've heard some weird stuff in the past about that, but you could always tell them that it's my fault, and I said it during my live stream. But yeah, those were the days. Sometimes you could sit for months downloading something. That's why I always went out and purchased CDs, because it was just simpler. Why sit there for 3 weeks trying to get that one song when I could just go to the store? I just saved a little bit of money and then I had it. And many times I wanted to download something when I was younger. I couldn't afford it. It just ended up saving some money and buying it. Took me long enough, but what are you gonna do? And then at some point I had like 3 jobs, so I could purchase all the music I wanted. But what I purchased instead was synthesizers, and I didn't listen to a lot of music during those days except for my own, because I was working all the time. But it sounds like a very bad MP3. Yeah, we've heard plenty of that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it more interesting. Let's go back here. Let's add some instruments, some piano, some stuff. Do I have my MIDI controller here? Do I have a MIDI controller? I need a MIDI controller, everybody. Everybody, I need a MIDI controller. Now I can't find my MIDI controller. Where is it? Maybe I should use the Sensel more for something because I can. Oh, that. Wait, sorry. It's underneath everything. Ugh. All these cables. Come on now. Don't do me like this. Jamie, Brian, help me out here. Jamie, come on, man. Just head on over to Sweden. Come into my room and just fix my cables, please, man. I only have 2 pair of hands and I can't take care of everything at the same time. I don't know what accent that was, but it just happened. Its best jobs is for vocals. Does re-extracting from the extracted track make any change? Re-extracting? Nick, what do you mean exactly? AJ went for lunch. So this one is on. Do we have any pianos? Baby, I like it raw. Baby, I like it raw. I don't want to get any DRMs on this video. I'm not going to play it. But yeah, absolutely love the Wu-Tang Clan. Because they ain't nothing to duck with. That's how you say it when you want to be family friendly. Let's see what we can do here. I can put some shitty chords on there. What? That's an F, right? To be honest, I don't even know what an F is. Is this an F? Is this an F? Is this an F? I think this is a C. So let's try to do something really simple like that. I'm gonna add some other instrument to it, of course. It didn't record that one? Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do me like that. Why are you doing that to me? I want you to record all of it. I'm not even doing anything really spectacular. I'm doing something very basic here. I just need one note there. Come on. There we go. Let's just do that. Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at playing, everyone. You should know that if you followed me for a while. And if you haven't, now you know. I'm not the best player. I'm actually the worst. If you want to see someone who can play, you go watch someone else. You go watch Jamie Malander. That guy can play the guitar. If you want to watch someone do the keyboards like a madman, you go watch either Doug Woods or Brian Rico Simpson, for instance. Oh God. Oh, especially if you're into beat making and hip hop, Brian Rico Simpson makes some of the sweetest plays together with like Henny the Business. But of course, Justin, he's already a famous music producer. That guy, he should be able to play, and he is. I watched a video from Henny the Business recently on a beat he did real quickly on the iPad, and he did such a great job. All of his videos are like that. They're like straight on to the point. They look good. They sound good. What's going on? What the? What the flying? Let's switch that out for a bass sound. Oh, I can't show you. I can't. I need to add something here, and I just want to make sure I'm not adding anything you're not supposed to see. I'm really sorry, everyone. I know I've been teasing this forever and ever and ever. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. I'm just gonna load something really simple. You know what? We're gonna use the Microlog because the Cubase synthesizer sounds really good. Init preset, and it's gonna be loud as hell. You got to be mad. You got to get mad. Come on, open up. Come on. There we go. Can y'all hear that? Run the extracted track back through Transcribe a second time. Oh, Nick, we are going to do that, of course. What are you kidding? Are you kidding me? How much time do you have? We'll do it. We'll do it in a bit, okay? Let's just add this bass to it and some other chords real quickly, and then we'll extract it and we'll do it a second time and see what happens. I'm guessing, everyone guess now. Guess in the comment section, guess in the chat. Do you think it's gonna do much of a difference once we extract the audio, like the vocals, from the track after everything we've done, and then bring in that again and try to extract the vocals from that? Do you think it's gonna do anything, or is it just gonna leave it alone? Because I think it might be leaving it alone. It might, yeah, because it's gonna see the same spectrum. That's what I think. What do you think? We're gonna try that out, of course. I'm super curious too about that. Oh, it's syncing it weirdly. I'm so sorry. We're doing the simplest beat. This is so unimpressive. Any like respected musician would look at this and scoff at me. Just call me a simpleton or something. Oh, come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do me like that. Yeah, it sounds so bad right now, but I really don't care. Maybe I do care because I'm talking about it. Okay, I'll admit it. I do care. I feel a bit ashamed for doing such simplistic stuff, but I don't want Nick and anyone else waiting for me to do a certain thing you know, exporting the things and then bringing in all the things again. The things. Yeah. There we go. We got something in here. And yeah, I think that's our loop. Yeah, we need another reverb for that, I think. Let's bring in Roomworks again. Add diffusion, add reverb time. Bring back on the pre-delay. Back on the low, up on the high. So it sinks a little bit more, just fizzles, sizzles out there. There we go. And bring it down. Hello, Divos. Nice to see you in the stream. Thank you for joining up. I think this is good. I think we're going to use this for our little thing. So let's export this and let's go to work. Start mixdown. There we go. We're going to bring this into Transcribe and we're going to call this Transcribe Simpleton, just because someone wrote that in the chat, I think. So, that's a pretty nice sound for just a simple, the most rudimentary general MIDI piano sound inside Cubasis, together with the Cubasis reverb. I mean, if you're up on stage and you're doing stage piano stuff, then you're gonna hear that it sounds maybe a little bit too much honky-tonk, and you might want something more proper. I'm not saying that honky-tonk isn't proper. It's actually one of my most favorite pianos, but these samples might sound a little bit too not high def, and you might want to use a piano app for that. I've been using haQ Multimedia's piano apps myself. I like those. And then of course there's like Korg Module. Those are good too. And there's iGrand. iGrand makes some really good stuff too. We'll take this and we'll send this to AudioShare because I always like having my stuff inside AudioShare. And again, I'm just gonna normalize the crap out of that one and send that to files, and hopefully it's not gonna show you my secret project. Save it into other app. And we're going to shut these down, open up Transcribe, and I want to thank you all for having patience with me and still being here, sticking around with me while we'll do this. Yeah, I haven't felt this great in a couple or 4 or 3 days because I've been feeling really down because I'm coming down with something. So thank you for making my day better. Yeah, just getting a little bit mushy on there, on you there. Done. We're done with that. We're gonna bring in this new thing, browse, and let's go in for the Transcribe Simpleton normalized. Here it is. Here it is. And we're gonna do a loop that doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. So that's no loop, and that's loop. I mean, in what mode does it loop? Does it loop in this mode? Let's listen to this. It doesn't loop. I'm going insane here. Come on, can you please loop this? You son of a... Alright, it doesn't loop it. I don't know why it doesn't. We got Nino Beats and we got Future Music in here too. So hello and hello Divos. So we're gonna extract the vocals out of this. Now Samuel Lindemann says try extracting vocals first, then drums from the vocals and normalize the results. Uh, we're gonna try different things here. So let's do it like this. We're gonna isolate the vocals first. I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna see what that sounds like. We've done so many things. We've added bass, we've added piano. Piano has reverb on it. The whole track has reamp, a plugin from and från. Från is from på svenska in Swedish. Sorry, I'm just forgetting myself sometimes. So reamp is from Klevgren Produkter or Klevgren Produktion or Klevger. Why does everybody have to change their names? It's like recent studios. I actually said it right this time. I keep saying Propellerhead Studios because I'm old school like that. I get to complain because I'm an old user, and that's why I'm right and they're wrong, and they shouldn't have changed their names, and I'm really, really miffed about that. I'm sorry. I can't help it. You know, when I met up with Kalle Paulson, a guy who used to work for Propellerhead, for Recent Studios, he was the guy who made the figure app, and he also worked with another one on the Thor synthesizer. And he doesn't work there anymore. He works at a company named Red Flag, and they try to help new businesses start up, basically. And I've heard they're doing a great job at it. So great for him that he's found another way in life of doing what he wants to do. And I forgot what I was going with this. So it's done, and that's all I need. I need to talk until this was done. So let's listen to the isolated vocals from our beat, from our little Bengali Indian beat.
আগে বোমা গো না 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 যেতে দেব না আমি হৃদয়ে রাখিব যেতে দেব না.
Alright, so we're going to try out the first thing that Nick Zagrevsky actually asked for. He wanted me to export this and bring it in again and then process it. So we'll do that first, and then we'll go on to do the other ideas I've seen here. Now, I haven't exported in this before, so I can't remember because I don't know how to do that. So how do we do that? How do you export stuff in this app? I can't see any other options here. There's a flag here. Ah! Oh no. No. No, no, no. No! Don't do that. How does it do that? Wait. How do you... do I have to record this? Is there any way to exactly export it? Am I missing something here? Do I long press? Well, that was something that happened. It's definitely working off a spectral synthesis, just like CS, the app, and also, what's the name of the app? What's the name of the app? What's the name of the app? Don't go too far now, Jacob. You can't show them what you can't show them. Is that too far? The app. What's the name of the app? Anyone who... Virtual Ants. If you want to do synthesis that sounds like the thing we just did, you go for Virtual Ants. Virtual ANS. And it's a reproduction of the Russian ANS synthesizer. And it's great. Can anyone tell me if there is any way of actually exporting the sound in here? Because I can't see any options for it. What is going on? Are you not supposed to? This one just opens this thing. Does it say, has it already saved it? What's going on here? Let's unmix this better for extracting vocals. You know, I should probably... Oh, top left. Top left. Top left. Okay, I'm in top left. And when I'm in here, I'm gonna do... audio, mono, restore. Wait. If I, what am I supposed to press here? Because I've been pressing these and it's been isolating stuff. And if I want to save them down, I go for stems. Is that it? Drum, space, instrumentals, vocals. Is that it? Anyone? I'm unsure what to do actually. In the top left, do you mean this button in the top left? This one, or because I'm on this and this is what it opens and this is what I've been using, but I can't see something saying export. Oh man, I am so dumb. Everybody got to see that. Okay, so I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna put this up on Instagram and Facebook so anybody can see what was going on here. Right. So if we scroll, it's right there. Export stems. So I'm gonna export stem, and I'm gonna do it in Wave. I am horrible, and we're gonna call this Transcribe, and we call it what did we call it? Simpleton vocals. And save it to files, and I gotta make sure that you can't see. Yeah, it's gonna go into other apps. Good. It's not gonna go anywhere else. So we've exported the vocals. So we're gonna do what Nick Zakrevsky wanted. And if you're still here, Nick, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up that track and we're gonna process it again with the vocals and see if it actually does anything. So browse. Sorry. Transcribe Simpleton vocals. And there it is. Alright. So we're gonna try this then. We go in here again, isolate, and we're gonna take the vocals and we're gonna see if it actually does anything more to this now. I have no idea if it will do that. Oh, I'm out of water, everyone. I might have to leave for just a minute. Let me do that. I'm just gonna go get some more water because my throat is getting dry. I thought I had a big monster in the living room. I went in there to get the can of water, and I saw this big butt monster, and then I just realized it's actually my partner doing yoga. So it's processed this, and I don't think it's gonna do anything, but I am hoping I'm wrong. So we've already processed this from a track, extracting the vocals. We bring it in again, and we're processing it again, extracting vocals. What will this sound like? Okay, if we play them side by side, we might hear something, but I can't hear any difference there. All right, I can't hear anything really. Now we're gonna try to what was it you wanted me to do? I can't. Butt master? Oh, you're probably referring to what I just said. Butt master. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, big MacBook, and also was it Nino Beats? Yeah, I did. I did show before you came in here. I did show that app to people, and I think that's an app we should check out also at some point, right? Let's unmix. Let's unmix. I'm doing it again for anyone who might have just joined up. I'm just showing them what's going on in the chat so that you can see it if you don't want to go to the App Store yourself and see it. But this is what it looks like. Let's unmix. I know it's really blurry on that screen, but it looks like a scissor with a note, whole note on top. That's it. That's the app they're talking about. It also does similar things to Transcribe. And the in-app purchases are different. So for this one it's $15 or $16. For this one it's $6. I don't know what the differences are between them really. I don't, because I've never checked this one out. I only heard about this app today by you viewers. So I don't know anything about it. But anyone watching this, if you want to check out another app, both of these can be downloaded and tested out without actually purchasing anything. So they're freemium apps. That means that they're free to use, but if you want to use the full functions or don't or not have any limitations, you have to go and do the in-app purchase, and so you actually have to buy the premium things. That's why I say freemium. Oh, we got Sion also. Sion also has a YouTube channel, if you didn't know. Him and many, there's so many beatmakers now doing iOS videos, and he also, Sion, also highlighted that you could, if you want to, you can type down the names of some beat makers you want anyone to discover. Type them down there in the live chat, because I can't remember every name, and the list under my videos are just getting longer and longer. I always promote other YouTubers, so if you're watching this and you're like, hey, you're so annoying, dude, I don't want to listen to you, I want to find something else, then open up the description box in one of my videos and you'll find loads of links to other YouTubers and you might find someone that you don't find is so annoying, such as myself. So what do we do with this one? You know what? I'm not even gonna save it. It doesn't sound different from the other one. What I want to do is I want to go back. I'm done here. I want to go back to the original beat that we made. This one? No, not that. That's the vocals. The beat. Where is it? Simpleton. Yeah. And we're gonna try to extract the drums. Oh yeah, that's right. It saves it. So restore original track. Right. So let's do that. Let's do some drum stuff on this. Drums only, and see what that sounds like. Then we're gonna do the bass and see how it does that. Extract drums from the vocals. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's just listen to this real quick, and then we'll do that. One thing is for certain, when it comes to any of these types of apps, I've used apps like this on the desktop computer back when I used my desktop system, you know, with the big tower, water cooler and everything, and the full studio. Drums never sounded good when you extracted them from any song, and that hasn't changed today. It's still gonna sound like a really bad MP3, or if you're playing YouTube video at, you know, back in the days in 360p, you know, it's not gonna sound good, but it can sound interesting when you're doing vocals. Okay, so let's do what Samuel says. We're gonna restore the original track. We're gonna do the vocal thing again. We've already extracted those, by the way, so we're gonna load up the vocals, and then we're gonna try to extract drums from the vocals. Simpleton vocals. Okay, so these are the vocals. Let's try to extract drums from this. Let's see what it does. Drums only. All right, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Now this might become interesting. So we so can y'all see that? Look at this. Is that all we get? That's all the drums we get from this. Seriously. Oh, it's starting to sound like David Firth. All right, so let's listen to it. Where did... I guess it's pretty good at detect... Okay, you know what? We're gonna try to extract bass instead. So restore original track. It didn't find any drums in there. Pretty good, pretty good. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's do bass instead. Let's see what that does. Yeah, it might need to be normalized. Yeah, we're gonna try that too. I'm gonna go back into audio share. So now I tried to extract bass, and you know what, Samuel? I think you're right. It doesn't do that It doesn't do that well. Restore original track. Okay, so let's go into audio share. Let's just try to fix this. Wait. I need to import the sounds, right? From... Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do that. File, and we're gonna go to... Ooh, that you cannot see. You cannot see that. Okay. Jump out of there quickly. Okay, on my iPad, we go into LumaFusion because that's where I'm putting them. And we're gonna go into user media, I think. And then it is in other app. And that's where we got the Transcribe Simpleton vocals that we extracted. Right, there we are. There's some weird clipping in the beginning there, but we're gonna... You know what? We're gonna have to remove that because it's gonna recognize that and it's not gonna normalize it. So I'm gonna fade that away. Come on, show me. Right. So we're gonna cut it right there. We'll do that and just save that. So we remove that really loud peak there, and now we normalize it. So yeah, that's a bit louder. We could probably do it better with a compressor or something else, but we're gonna use this. So let's save this to files. Hopefully it saves it in the right spot. Yes. Okay. Let's try to redo it. Let's try to extract drums from this again. Browse. Trim normal. That's the one. Okay. Okay. So now let's try to extract drums. Even the loud stuff after detection needs to be cut out prior to normalizing. Okay. Well, hey, the result looks much better right now. So let's just have a listen to what this sounds like, because now we've taken a track, we've extracted vocals from it, we brought it back into audio share, and we've normalized it. We cut out some really loud peaks. There is another loud peak in here we could have cut out just to make everything else loud. And we brought it back in here and told Transcribe Plus to detect drums. This is the result we have. It's really, really not that loud, but I'm gonna bring up the audio and we're gonna listen to what it thinks is drums right now. Okay, whatever it wasn't nice to listen to, and I don't know if you could hear it, but I don't think I want to put you through that. That didn't sound good. Could y'all hear that? It didn't sound good. Restore original track, and we're gonna try to do bass again. Bass only. Let's see if we can detect any bass in this. Normalizing always distorts for me. Yeah, I mean, I don't like normalizing like that, and that's not how I normally do stuff with my music ever. I don't normalize stuff. I always bring levels up using either my the FabFilter suite or something like that. And I do have the Waves plugins. There is a Waves maximizer inside Cubasis. You can buy a plugin pack of 3 different plugins from Waves. And I've always loved Waves plugins. I used to use them a lot back in the day when I was using desktop computers. So yeah, normalizing is not something I do normally, but for this, yeah, it's just a quick way instead of sitting there listening to stuff trying to make it perfect. And there is nothing in here. Of course, it doesn't detect any bass. So it's pretty good at doing what it does. Huh. Not bad. Not bad. Secret alien message. Translation, installed Rambo. Could sound nice pitched down. Yeah, probably. It sound like some weird digital birds. But yeah, it really is pretty good at recognizing stuff in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring back. I'm just gonna browse again and bring back the original track. Trim normalized there. And I'm just gonna extract bass. No, instruments, because we haven't done that yet. And see what that sounds like. For sampling, at least, I can see how this could be a really, really useful app. So Transcribe Plus definitely has a thumbs up from haQ from Jakob. And also, I need to check out Let's Unmix. And if I do a proper video feature of Transcribe, which I will probably do at some point, but probably not within the next 2 months, because there's so much else I need to do, and there's something that's going to come out. It's going to need all of my attention, but I'll do a little comparison, because it's always good to have several apps to compare to, and that's what I've liked doing on my channel so far. And a lot of you viewers seem to like those comparisons, seeing what apps do differently from one another. When I do comparisons, it's not to try to find which one is best. It's trying to find which one does what best, because apps might do the same things, but there are some things that some developers are going to just differ from one another. And sometimes I find that I use Cubasis for certain things because it does this thing best, and then I use Core Gadget for something else because it does that thing best. And that's just the way it is. I don't subscribe to best and worst as in the whole complete picture of an app being the best or worst than anything else. I just can't, unless there's something wrong with it. I've never been able to really think like that, even though I do make these top lists. But if you check my top lists, you'll see that I never say that this one is better than the other one. I just show you what it is that apps do good, basically. So now it's detecting the bass from our track. Let's see what that sounds like. It looks weird. No, we did instrumentals. The secret thing is about to drop. Okay, so we've put our preliminary date for dropping it. Preliminary. That is literally what it means. I can't show you what it says, but it's supposed to be around October, okay? Late in October. So we're really short on time, and the problem is that if we need to iron some stuff out, like seriously iron some stuff out. So that's why I'm not going out a month early saying, hey, listen to this, we have a release date, because we don't. We are uncertain still if we're going to be able to finish everything that we need to do. Because not only am I going to make a video for it, which is going to be a pure tutorial, I'm not going to be able to review this thing. You will never hear me review this thing, because I've not only been involved, this thing has been designed for me. So I can't review it. It's up for everyone else to review it. But what I will do is a proper tutorial on it, and I will also make a very special documentary, because this time I've been able to be part of a project, so I can truly show my viewers what a development process really is. And that is going to be super interesting. So hopefully it's going to be a good I'm going to try to make this documentary, this docutorial. It's not even going to be a docutorial, it's going to be a proper documentary. So I'm going to have to work a little bit harder on it than I normally do. Not that I don't work hard on everything I do, but yeah, there's a certain feeling you want when you're doing documentaries, and so I really have to rethink this. Gas is online. Oh, that's right. Hey, everybody. I'm thinking of actually moving my streaming day to Thursdays or something, because I like watching Gas Williams. Okay? The problem is he's always streaming at the same time as I'm streaming, or I'm streaming at the same time. And then we have Mobile Music Pro that streams an hour before me. So it's very tight, between people who actually does iOS stuff. Even if Gas is doing a lot of guitar stuff, he's also doing iOS stuff. I just feel like maybe it's a little bit tight. So you just let me know in the comment section, or you can comment on any video. I can see it in my studio app on any channel. Tell me if it's okay if I move the day to Thursdays instead at this time, the same time as always. But I'm thinking of doing that just to get less, to untighten some stuff. And I also want to watch Gas, but he's always on this exact same time as me. Right, Samuel, you're mentioning MC101. Okay, so here's the thing. There will be a video coming out from me about the MC101 and the issues you might get into when you're trying to connect it to iDevices with lightning ports. Because I've had some actual problems with it, and it's very much related to the power output from an adapter, from a lightning adapter or a USB 3 lightning adapter. So I'm making a video specifically about that, because I know that there are going to be people out there wondering, hey, why can't I get this to work? I know why it doesn't work sometimes. So I'm going to make a video about that. But I've tried it out, and for anyone not knowing, it used to be class compliant with MIDI, the MC101 with iOS, iPhone and iPad. And now it's also audio compatible, class compliant. So you get 2 channels, not 4, but 2 channels. Right. So what do you think? I mean, right now I think we're like, yeah, I got like 7 minutes left of the stream, and I actually gotta go in like 5 minutes or something like that. So I'm gonna round this up. I like Transcribe. It seems good. And there is another app called Let's Unmix that's supposed to do something similar. So now you know that. I might end up putting the links down in the description if I haven't. Otherwise, I've shown you several times during the stream what these apps are. So you can go and check them out yourself. I do think it's worth the $16 you pay on the premium just to get an interesting tool like this on iOS. And I keep seeing questions on forums, especially iPad Musician Group, which is a group you should be joining up if you are into iOS music, because iPad Musician Group is a huge group on Facebook, and it's still a very nice group, tidy group, very little hostility on that group, very little toxicity in that group. It's very, very nice. So yeah, I do recommend it. And if you do decide to join up, if you have a Facebook account, make sure you have Facebook messaging on, because Linda, who runs that that forum, that group, she will send you a message checking if you're a human or if you're a bot. So keep your messaging on. So thank you so much for joining up today, and I'm so happy that you stuck around for this long, many of you. Thursday is normally music night on TSTR. Well, of course it is. Of course Doug is streaming that. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll look into the dates, and I'll look into changing it. Right now we're keeping it on Wednesdays as usual. And I'll look into when I can stream at a different time. I will also be looking into doing some morning streams. Morning streams for me are basically evening streams for people living in the US, or day streams for people living, on the further away from us, like in Japan and in Asia and stuff like that. So yeah, and Asia is a very big place, so I mean, it could be earlier in the day, it could be later in. I realize that time zones are pretty horrible to work with sometimes. Right, so love all of you. Thank you so much for making me feel alive today, because I'm coming down with something and I don't know what it is. I'm gonna order me a test, so I make sure that I'm not infected with something. You know what I'm talking about. And if I am, I'm just gonna stay at home. That's it's not hard for me. I'm already doing that. I'm a YouTuber. That's part of the job description. Staying at home all the time. I've been doing it for 5 years or 6 years, and I just want you to know. Thank you so much for all of this. YouTube for what is it? 6 years now? I think it was like a hack attack date last week or something. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. We've built something like this. Pretty awesome. I have 2 channels now. We have 2 channels now. I've gone from a blog to a YouTube channel, main channel, and then to also a live stream channel. And we've been doing a lot. And I have almost 31K subs because of all of you. So yeah, Scott Thorpe, you're on the money. Stay home, make music. But in my case, it's usually make videos. That's what I do, and finish up on my project. Thank you so much for joining up. This has been Jakob haQ Live. You've been watching me make a fool out of myself, and you've been watching my new friend. A new friend. I love this thing. I love this thing. Look at its little mouth. Oh, it's so cute. I watched them. When I got this one, it had a fly. It had a fly in there. I could see it when I shone a light through there, and then the next day it had opened it up, and I saw what was left of the fly carcass, and it's just so. I don't know. It's so interesting, and I wanted to have it in here while I was streaming because it feels like one of my best friends right now. It's so cute. It's oh, it's got a fly in there. I can see that now. Yeah, it's trying to spit it out. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. You don't water these from the top. They like it when you water them from the bottom, and they like rainwater. So I did collect some rainwater, but I also use water that have been in a boiler and then cooled down, because they don't like just regular tap water. It's a very special little plant, actually. They're very sensitive. Yeah, and I just want to say goodbye and thank you so much. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Maybe I have some more teasers. And stay tuned for tomorrow because I'm trying out this tier list thing again. It's not going to be a tier list with DAWs or anything. I know that some of you have asked for that, and I will be doing one of those. I just don't want to put them tight together. I made sure to make at least 2 other videos in between, and I want to have like 2 or 3 videos in between tier lists. I don't want them to be too often, but tomorrow there will be a tier list where I will be rating synth knobs, and I've collected 42, which is the answer to everything and all. If you've ever read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I've collected 42 synthesizer knobs from iOS synthesizers, and I'm rating them all in that tier list. It's a great video, I think. So stay tuned for tomorrow on my main channel. I'll see you next time. Bye bye, and take care of yourselves out there. Now watch me behave like an idiot as I'm trying to find the finish stream thing. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you shouldn't touch it, yeah, because they open and close. And I'm gonna carry you out to my partner's desk so that you get some light tomorrow by the window. They like it when you talk to them because because of what you're breathing out. They're turning it into oxygen, which is great. Yeah. So bye bye everyone. Bye bye. Love you and stay safe. Stay safe.